All right, 49er fans, again, we're jumping into another 49ers report video. We answer all of our subscriber questions here on the channel. We have a ton. Go ahead and continue to answer here. And let's start with Irfan Mirza, because I recognize that cat picture. He says, do you think San Francisco should trade up for a guy like this or Greg Newsome? Listen, I wouldn't hate the idea. The question is, how much are you trading? How far, right? Is Asante Samuel Jr. going to go at the end of the first round? If he is, it's right. Don't do it. Take Tyson Campbell. Take Newsome. There are a lot of other cornerbacks you can have there in round 2. But if he's like 5 picks ahead and you're worried someone's going to jump ahead of you, then sure, trade up, because moving from like 47, whatever it is, 45 overall to 40 overall is not that expensive in the grand scheme of things. So I wouldn't mind trading up for a guy like Asante Samuel Jr. because I do think he's really, really good. His dad was fantastic. We all know that. I just think he's probably going to go in the first round. If that's the case, not worth trading up for. Justin says, Boston can slide to round 2 for us to pick. It's possible, highly unlikely. Bateman out of Minnesota is probably the 4th best receiver in this draft. It's between him and out of Florida, who's getting a lot of hype right now, but Bateman is kind of one of those all-around receivers you love to have on your football team, like a DeAndre Hopkins. So I think he's going to be middle of the first, maybe late first round. If he falls, though, I don't know how he gets past some of these other, like Philadelphia is sitting there very high up in this draft. They need a wide receiver. They might not get one at number 12. The Dolphins might not get a wide receiver at number 6. They could go Kyle Pitts. They need another one as well. There are teams that need receiver ahead of the Niners, and if Bateman falls, I would be absolutely shocked if the Niners will have a chance to go ahead and get him. AJB, when will Richard Sherman sign? It's a good question. I mean, the reports keep saying he's going to sign after the NFL draft, which makes sense because a team might miss out on a cornerback and need to go ahead and get a veteran, or draft a cornerback and want a veteran to go ahead and show him how to play the actual position. People asking me again if the 49ers should be in play for Richard Sherman. I had a tweet sent out me at Real Thomas today. I mean, I wouldn't mind it. Again, I just don't think it's going to happen because, again, sign him right now if they want to. They could have signed him a long time ago if they wanted to. Instead, they went for Rashod, Mostert, they went with K'Wan Williams. And again, those were the right moves. They're younger and I think have a better future. But I just don't think they're going to go ahead and have a look at Richard Sherman. I think like the Jets. It wouldn't shock me. The Jets are just waiting and Robert Saleh is waiting. And then eventually they're going to go ahead and sign, or I should say just sign overall Richard Sherman. But I think they're going to add a cornerback. That is. And I wouldn't hate if it's Sherman. I just don't think it's going to be Sherman because, again, him already, so I don't think it's going to happen. Unless you guys this, though, how important is adding another cornerback on a scale from 1 to 10, right? Like, how bad do they need another cornerback? Being like, oh my gosh, I get one right now. Or 1 being like, nah, don't really need one. What you guys think down below right now. All right, more questions to 49ers Nation. Who do you want the 49ers to draft? Troy Warner. Man, Troy Warner. Okay, so Troy Warner is the younger brother of Fred Warner, who is a mid to late round day 3 draft pick, but everyone wants him in the Niners because it's like, hey, Fred Warner. Okay, just because Fred Warner is good does not mean that Troy Warner is good. Although I like the prospect, I wouldn't mind them taking him, but the odds of drafting Troy, probably not that great, but I wouldn't mind it as long as you're not spending a top, 3 or 4 round draft pick on the younger brother of Fred Warner, because guess what? Warner's already really good. You don't really need another linebacker, even if it is the younger brother. R&B Bro says, the 49ers rid of Mostert after the Wayne Gallman signing? Absolutely not. Mostert's a way better running back than Gallman. He still is on the contract. And, I guess get rid of him in terms of let him be a free agent after this year, because that's a possibility. But get rid of him, like trade him, not going to. I know he was hurt last year, but this is a guy who, when healthy, as we saw 2 years ago, is a stud. And I like Wayne Gallman. I like the signing, good depth, but there's not going to be a replacement for Mostert. At least Wayne Gallman is not going to go ahead and be that at all. And so, no, I don't think they're go of Gallman, of Mostert because of the Gallman signing, but I like the addition overall. Another super chat from No 549, my man. He says, "What has Jimmy G been up to? Has he healed from injury?" That's a good question. We've heard nothing about Garoppolo's health, and I mean literally nothing over the past couple of weeks or couple of months. But I would assume he's doing well, right? And again, it's just saying we've heard literally nothing, and most of the reporters have not really asked updates on Garoppolo when we've had Kyle Shanahan in a press conference. No shame on them, right? You got to ask some questions here. But, I think he's going to be fine, going to be healed. It wasn't a massive injury. It's like a long-term thing like Nick Bosa's was. So I expect him to be healed, and he will be the starter week 1 unless they get rid of him during the draft, which is always a possibility, right? Okay, before we go ahead and get back to some more questions. I want to encourage you guys to help us out, support our partners this week on the show. And that's News Break and the app that they have, your one-stop for the latest local and national news, all in one feed. I mean, the News Break app, to me, is absolutely fantastic. You can go ahead and get local, relevant news and content wherever you live, and really what content you want, you tailor it to whatever you want to follow. So if you're in San Francisco, you want to be East Bay, South Bay, San Jose, Walnut Creek, or just anywhere across the United States, News Break app, put in your zip code and follow specific stuff that you want to follow, like the San Francisco SF Weekly, Mercury News, and of course, a lot more. Use our link, chatsport.com/49ers, down below me, /49NB, down below me. You see that right below me, somewhere down over here. Go ahead and use that link to download the app free of charge right now. And of course, you get it on both Android and iPhone. Now, I really want you guys to download the app, not just because it's a great app, but because we are trying to have the most followers out of all the West Coast teams. We picked up a bunch last week, but the Seahawks Today channel has more. And that means we're losing to Seattle, which I don't like, right? I mean, overall, you want to lose to Seattle Seahawks? Come on. So go down to the Newsbreak app, chatsports.com/49NB, and then follow us by searching us out. Just, 49ers Report by Chat Sports. Hit the follow button, get all of my news and videos into one feed, as well as all the other great content you can go ahead and follow on the official Newsbreak app. So go ahead and download it again, chatsports.com/49NB. Here's your one-stop shop for all the best news content. All right, another super chat here right to the front. My man Renee says, Frank Gore, bring him back to get out, to go out the right way. Wish I did Twitter to help you, but keep asking us. No, you're keeping us going on our number one 49ers. No, great questions. Okay, first off, no worries, you don't have Twitter, but I appreciate the super chat here. The problem with signing Gore now is they could have done it instead of Wayne Gallman, and they went with Gallman instead. So it feels like they won't be signing Frank Gore. I would love him. I mean, just bring him back. A sold out Levi Stadium, and 2, Frank Gore in a rushing Niners uniform. The place would go absolutely nuts. So I wish they would. I just don't think that they're going. I think that the Gallman kind of signing 2 days ago put the nail in the coffin on that. I appreciate the super chat. I appreciate the love and the support from you, Renee. Connor Pearl, Trey Lance or Justin Fields. I think Kyle surprises and goes with Trey Lance. Well, that would be similar thinking to what Rich Eisen is thinking right now from, of course, the Rich Eisen show on the NFL Network, as well as Dan Graziano from ESPN and ESPN's Get Up a couple of days ago. Both talked about the show. People are starting to lean Trey Lance. But you got to remember, every single national guy in the 49ers has flip-flopped, right? At first it was Fields, and then it was, guaranteed Mac Jones. They're going to take Mac Jones, and now it's Trey Lance. So I really don't know, right? Take Fields. I'll say that for another week until they don't take Justin Fields, and I'll just shrug and say trust Kyle Shanahan. But it will be one of the 3, right? We can guarantee that. I don't know. But I would be surprised if Kyle Shanahan, for whatever reason, likes Trey Lance, and if he does, Shanahan knows more than you and me, and we'll have to support Trey Lance as the future of the quarterback here at San Francisco. Sion says, "Why is Mac Jones even so high? He's so high in the draft because he threw so many touchdowns last year, right? 44." 4 interceptions, whatever it was, 4-3. The guy was really good. And I think that the best way to understand why Mac Jones is just so high in the mock draft is to go to Twitter and go to Dan Orlovsky and watch his film breakdown, because he has a film breakdown of Mac Jones, and it's a really good look at why Mac Jones will be a starter in the National Football. Smart up here. He has a very good arm, but he's very accurate as well. And Saban loved him as a quarterback. I think he was more than 2. He wouldn't admit it, but I would say that it is. So, I'm shocked too, but he will be in the top 10. I think he deserves it. Charles, what up, my man? He says, hey, Thomas, what do you think will happen to Shanny if he has another bad year? I think we will try to get as much as we can if we trade him. Trading Kyle Shanahan? I don't think they're going to have a bad year. It would have to take another year of injuries for that to happen. If they have a bunch of injuries, you can't really blame Kyle Shanahan. I think a team would trade for him, but I just wouldn't trade Kyle Shanahan, right? It just doesn't make a lot of sense. And trades don't really happen in the National Football League. You think back to the last it happened from an NFL head coaching standpoint was a while ago. So I would not expect that to happen. I guess if he was won 4 games this year, then sure, maybe. I'd just be very surprised, right? Okay, before we go and keep going, and make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Free videos. You got to remember, this is for free. I do this out of just the absolute bottom of my heart. Producer Sam and I literally, we just love producing 49ers Report. Love doing it here, but it's free for you guys. So, pay us. Right? How about that? Hit the red subscribe button down below. We would greatly appreciate that. Go ahead and sub here on the channel as we get to more questions. A lot more questions here, at least a couple more questions, I should say. Salem Love, drafting 2 quarterbacks. No, they can't, because I'm telling you, we don't need to see again, because we talked about it a lot here. Too many quarterbacks. They have way too many quarterbacks on the roster. One is one too many. So they will not take 2. They will take 1 this draft, and the Rosens and the Sudfelds and the Johnsons to be the backups. Next question here. Pittsburgh switch to right guard. Is it going to make a big difference? I don't think it would be. But I would say this. I would not be shocked if the Niners want to go interior offensive lineman, maybe left guard, right guard in the draft at some point, 2nd or 3rd round. I wouldn't be shocked. I don't think they will, but I would not be shocked for a quote-unquote boring pick in round 2 or 3 that turns out to be a really smart pick for Shanahan and company. But I don't think switching him to right guard would make that much of a difference. Yeah, that's what happened. Which right back then we'll get them week 1, Mostert 1,000,000%. People are forgetting how good Mostert was 2 years ago because he got injured last year and barely played. I mean, they're forgetting, and it's a little bad because he was just good. So it will be Mostert 1, Jeff Wilson Jr. 2, Wayne Gallman will be 3, Michael Hasty will be officially my day 1 roster when we all said and done. John Day says, how would you rank each position by need? Quarterback, cornerback, wide receiver, or tight end? I go quarterback 1, cornerback 2. I think you did it. Quarterback 1, and I don't think quarterback's a massive need just because Garoppolo's still there, but they're going to take it, so you put it at 1, right? Cornerback is 2, wide receiver is 3 because you already have Debo and Ayuk. Tight end would be below defensive end. I put defensive end higher. I put safety ahead of tight end, and then tight end there, like, what is that, 7 or 8 or something like that? So, yeah, no, I don't think a big deal, but you basically ranked them in the proper order there, John. How about this? Who's non-quarterback in this draft class? We hear a lot about Kyle Pitts, which I think is ridiculous. It's not Kyle Pitts, but a lot of people like to think that is Kyle Pitts. Who do you guys think is the best non-quarterback in this draft class? Let me know down below right now in the comments section. I think it's probably going to go ahead and be Penei Sewell because he's going to be a baller, but let me know the best non-quarterback in this draft class. Another super chat, and my boy No, which means it goes right to the front, and he says, the Niners ever wear the blackout uniform? And I hope so. Those things are sick. I think that 99% of blackout uniforms are awesome. So why wouldn't they? I think that they should 100%, but there is no guarantee that they will. But I mean, come on, like they're sweet. And I am obviously online and I rock them to the Levi Stadium, and so I love blackout jersey. They should do a blackout game for the Niners. That'd be absolutely sick. Tehran, with the hard last name to say, best possible player we can get in round 2. It's probably a cornerback, but some good receivers there as well. You know, the Niners are tough to read right now. Again, it's going to be a quarterback. We don't know which one. You get past the 1st round, and I really don't know what they're going to do in round 2. But let me just say this: it's a very strong draft class, and there are a lot of players in round 2 and 3, and they can really win some football games by having some good picks here in the 2nd and 3rd round of the NFL draft, and we'll of course cover it because that's what we do here on the channel. All right, let's see here. Domo says, update on Jalen Hurd. There's been no update. Look, trust me. I mean, I look. There has been no update. So, I mean, I think news is good news, right? You know, it's like, I don't know. Hopefully it works out pretty well. I would expect him to be healthy and ready to rock, but you never really know. My main concern is getting injured again, but there's no way to prevent that. You just hope that doesn't happen, right? It's like, please don't let it happen, and you move on. Let's see. One more question. Are we doing another one here? I think we are. Let's see. So 49ers draft Eric Stokes. Stokes is not my favorite cornerback out of UGA. I'm not that high on him. I think there are better ones. I think he's going to fall a little bit in the draft, so maybe in the 3rd round. But again, there are a lot of cornerbacks. It's hard to go and figure out which one's the best, but I'm not that high on Eric Stokes. David makes an appearance. What about David? Any news, good or bad, on Hasty? There's been no news. I think everything's fine on Hasty. I think much like the other injured 49ers, be good to go and be 100% for the start of training camp. So much like with Jalen Hurd, no news is good news. Let's just say that. No news is good news. Niners continue to hopefully get healthy as we get closer and closer to the start of the 2021 NFL draft.